Guys, I've got to talk about this movie. Today, I will be reviewing the sequel to Smile, Smile 2. So basically in this Smile, we get the final character who survived the first Smile. He's in the opening scene. This really isn't spoiler territory because it shows it in the trailer, so I'm just going to say it. He dies and he passes it on to somebody else, which then connects it to our main character and pop sensation, Sky Riley, played by Naomi Scott, who killed it, in my opinion. I have entirely too much to say about this movie. Good and bad. Mostly good. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I did really enjoy this movie. We're gonna do the classic management technique. So we're gonna start with the positives and then we're gonna get into the negatives. And then we're going to end more of on a positive note, as well as rating the movie and if I would recommend it. So I'm going to put the title card up here. All right. There are several things on this positive list. Some of the things have spoilers, so I'm actually going to tell y'all at the end because the rest of the video is going to have spoilers. So that way, if you haven't seen it, you can click off after a certain time. Or if you don't plan to watch it, then just watch the whole thing. Before I ever saw the first Smile, when I saw the trailers back in 2022, I thought, okay, I'll watch it, but, it's probably not going to be good. Like, it's going to be one of those movies that get released straight to streaming and you forget about it and it's like not good, right? So obviously when I heard Smile 2 was coming out and I saw the trailer for that, I was like, do they really need to release a sequel? So where I was getting to that is the way that they utilize the camera angles, the drone shots, especially the upside down drone shots with the eerie music, like shit's about to go down. Just different ways of filming scenes, and I just really appreciated that, and I wish I saw more of that. And I think in the future we'll definitely see more of it because I think Smile 2 is just a really good success so far. So I feel like more people are going to incorporate unique shots like that, especially the classic zoom in. Like, dang, I hadn't seen that in a long time. Like not since some of the older classic horror movies, but it was really nice to see that brought back because I really don't see that too often. And this movie did have a lot, and I mean a lot of jump scares. Like, it heavily relies on jump scares rather than atmospheric. Don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of atmospheric, especially with the way things were filmed and like the eerie music, like, definitely, like the impending doom, like, yes. But majority was jump scares. They rarely ever get me, but seeing it the first time, there were a couple of jump scares that got me, and I will tell y'all about them in the spoiler section. Jump scares are super creative. Like, they're different every time. The way that they do them, what they utilize. I really liked it. The acting, especially from Naomi Scott, was top tier. Like, I felt the entire range of emotions that Naomi Scott exhibited, what her character Sky Riley went through. I mean, the anxiety, the dread, the psychotic behavior, the anger, the sadness. I felt it all. The soundtrack, like the fact that Naomi Scott recorded a couple of songs of actually her singing, like they're full songs. I've been listening to them on Spotify. They did a great job. Okay, it's got a great soundtrack. Another thing that I really liked about the movie that a lot of people are complaining about, because it really depends on the type of person you are, is the way that the movie is evolving, where it gets to the point of you feel as crazy as the main character and you don't know what's real and what's not, and you feel like you're going insane right along with the main character. To me, that is really effective when I can, not only when I can feel like the character's emotions and I resonate with that, only to get the rug swept out from under me, okay? Honestly, I didn't mind it being 2 hours because, you're watching this character go through this journey and just get more psychotic, as time goes on. I feel like it was really effective, so I really don't mind that. But that is a complaint of some people. Negatives. What I did not like about the movie, already kind of said this earlier, but majority jump scares. Usually not a jump scare person. I wish there was a little more atmospheric, eerie, creepy, disturbing feel. I don't have too many complaints, but that's all I'm gonna say. I wish they kind of explored the lore of the demonic entity a little bit more. I kind of wish I knew like how it came into existence. I don't know. I really like this movie. So me trying to find negatives where where what I don't like is really hard. But that's pretty much what I don't like. There's a couple other things that I didn't really care for or liked in particular when I get into the spoiler territory. So, like I said, there's going to be a couple more positives and negatives, but there is spoilers. So, we'll discuss that later on. Okay, so now we're going to get into the spoiler territory, okay? So if you haven't seen the movie and you plan to watch it, then click off right now. Okay, let's talk about the character Morris, the one who was texting Sky Riley from the unknown number and, freaking her out, okay? When they finally met up, he revealed to her that his brother went through the same thing and he traced it all the way back. And he wants to help her get rid of it. But the only way to, quote unquote, get rid of it is for her to die. Because if the host dies, the parasite dies, right? So he tells her that he needs to kill her. Only technically, she thinks he's crazy and completely rejects the idea. Until later on in the movie. I don't know. This character, I feel like a little pointless, especially when you learn that later on in the movie, like the second encounter that she has with him when he's like, okay, we're in a Pizza Hut, we're in the freezer, I've got to kill you now, and then I'll bring you back to life. All of that did not happen. That was all I don't know what to call it, a dream sequence. Suddenly you think, oh, okay, she just killed her mom. She didn't realize she killed her mom because the smile demon tricked her. And, she's running out of the hospital and driving to Staten Island to meet this guy at this abandoned Pizza Hut and like try and kill off this demonic entity. None of that happened, okay? It evolves into the ending scene where she's on stage opening up her tour and like, what? How did she get there? That part kind of did piss me off a little bit, just because, everything leading up to that, like before that happened, like you thought it was real, right? And it was all a dream sequence that didn't happen. The scene where she was supposed to speak at this, like, the music inspires hope thing, where she's having to read from a teleprompter and she's standing up there and, she starts reading it and then it stops and, she, like, she kind of just goes off the rails and starts improvising and then it evolves into telling everything bad that's ever happened to her and how it's affecting her and how she doesn't recommend like being famous and just like going off the deep end in front of everybody. I cringed so hard. This is the scene I was talking about earlier. I cringed so hard. Even the second time seeing the movie, I'm like grinding my teeth, like, oh my God. Like, I feel like I'm in the crowd watching her on stage and just like trying not to laugh, but also cringing and just like closing my eyes, like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. The fact that they could physically make me feel that, like how I feel in real life when I cringe in real life. I really loved that scene. It was so bad that it was good. And not bad in the way of genuinely bad. It was just so cringy and so full of emotion, and just it felt so real that it was good. Again, that actress killed it. I mean, I know they don't take horror seriously in the Oscars, but my God, give this woman an Oscar, please. I also love the plot twist of Gemma, her best friend, not being Gemma and being the smile demon all along, but successfully tricking her. Only thing that gives it away, especially watching it the second time, is when, Gemma stays the night at her apartment, they're laying in bed, and Sky looks at her and she's like, just telling her, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know why I destroy everything. And Gemma says, well, you're a horrible person, like in her sleep. And Sky's like, what? And then she like looks at Gemma. Then my second favorite jump scare of the movie is when, suddenly Gemma's face and eyes light up and there's like a loud truck horn and it's like the headlights are in her eyes. It was great. It was great. Lastly, about the ending scene of the movie, I didn't love the ending scene because, first of all, it was pretty predictable, like knowing, okay, it's a pop star. She's got the demon. Clearly, this is going to happen, right? We're hoping it's not going to happen. Or maybe you were hoping it was going to happen, but yeah, it happened. And my conclusion for this movie is it had that psychotic energy that made you feel crazy along with the character. The jump scares were great. I mean, again, the filming, like the different angles and shots, fantastic. Loved it. Loved the soundtrack. Naomi Scott killed it. I would definitely recommend this movie. With that being said, I do rate this movie a 9 out of 10, which is rare that I give a horror movie a 9 out of 10. Usually it's at most an 8, and I never rate 10 out of 10. I've never rated a horror movie 10 out of 10. But I give this movie a 9 out of 10 because of everything that I've already explained. I mean, Naomi carries this movie so hard. I mean, everybody else is great, but if the leading actress was shit, then this movie, obviously, this movie would be rated way less than what I just said. But she is a really good actress. And I mean, she was truly multi-layered and displayed the full range of emotions. Thank you guys for watching and hanging in there with me. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this movie, if you've already saw it or if you're planning to see it. What your opinions were regarding anything about this movie. I would love to hear it down below. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a great rest of your week. Bye.